Happy Monday. It's Trader Sam, eh? Just wanted to take a trade at the London close hour. We're looking at 11 in the morning. And I took a trade right before the hour ended, so right in the session on US dollar Canadian. We got high oil prices and we see a sell model here. Price Opening price of the week is right here. Price opened, hung around, fell, came back up, fell again. Overall market maker sell model. Let's see. Getting into a higher time frame range. So the trade that I took before it runs away from me is right here. If I go refine it, right there. Put my stop loss right above this high. Came pretty close to it. First take target here at about 20 pips. Final target positioning is right here, below this swing low. So just to get into it, overall market structure sell model, there was a buy model that partially completed, and then now it looks like another sell model on the lower time frame. That may also look like it's partially completed, but I want to see this come back up. I know ideally I didn't want it to come up this high, but this is where my stop loss is, and I just wanted to show my entry. My entry was actually inside this order block right here. So having said that, this is where I entered. This is my stop loss right above this swing high, and I want to see if it gives me. So my target profits are right here, right here, right here. So below this low, below here, and right here. These are my profit targets. So let's see what happens. London close. If it starts to come back up, I have to restructure this. Right now, overall higher time frame market maker sell model using the weekly open as a reason of resistance. Okay. Assuming we get stronger dollar and sorry, not stronger dollar. What am I saying? Weaker dollar, so that we can get stronger CAD. That's the idea. Another trade I'm potentially looking at for the week would be a bullish pound, but that doesn't look like it's ready for that yet. Could be coming down a little bit lower. Could be a sell model. This is a trade from a previous day. Just gonna delete that. That trade that I just showed, that was from last week, if you want to look at that. And this is what I'm looking at. We'll see what happens. I'll check back in a few hours, win, lose, or draw, and we'll go from there. And we're back. It is 10:27 p.m., Monday, January 17th, same day. As you recall, I took my trade. Actually, I kind of misplaced this. So this is where I took it, exactly there. Sometimes it's a little difficult to put it at the same place as I'm placing my actual trade because it's a little bit of a panic trying to make sure that I put this the same way that I put my actual trade, and I sort of focus on my actual trade. So this gets a little misplaced, but just to make sure I get it right, the high was right here. I entered as it was coming into the order block right there. So yeah, about 10 pips is what my stop loss was, and I entered at exactly around 10.50. Yeah, at the end of the London close session. So that's where it was. It came back. Um, I didn't want to see it come all the way out here. This looks like equal highs because, this was a short-term sell model. I wanted sell model to essentially complete and then not give anything back. And then thankfully, eventually it just consolidated and then Asian session it started to fall. And I have, for the most part, I've actually taken 70% of my profits out. So this profit that I was supposed to take here, I've already taken that out at 30 pips. So my final destination is 50 pips, which is right below here. So this is as far as I'm looking at. To now zoom out a little bit, so get into the higher time frame. I'm looking at this high to this low, range expansion coming up here, down to this low, below this swing low, and then perhaps below this swing low. But at this point, I think this is going to consolidate until maybe Wednesday, as you will see here. Wednesday, I'm only focusing on pound and CAD. Those are the two pairs against the dollar. And essentially, I just want to see this just roll over. I don't want to see any optimal trade entries. I don't want to see it come into this order block. Why? It came down once, came down twice, came down a third time, and then it just fell. I don't want to see it come back up here because then we get into the retail trading territory, and I don't like seeing that. So it came down fast and consolidate in this area, perhaps look for an optimal trade entry, and then let it go. And thankfully, as a day trader, I try to take what I can, and I saw it in the 5-minute chart, and then I took it. Kept my stop loss very minimal. My stop loss still hasn't changed, so whatever piece I have left that I want to see at the 2470 mark, 1.2470, whatever that is, it's very small, like 30% of my position, so I left the stop loss where it is, 10 pips. But truth be told, considering we are in consolidation from this low to this high, if we're at this point, I want to see it take down this low and then maybe come back and, oops, took out the wrong thing. If we go into a higher time frame, this trend line is suspect. So, I know we came down and broke, this is the opening price, and then came back up, consolidated, and started to fall. I can acknowledge that, but if it's going to fall, it needs to fall down below this low and this low fast. Because if it comes down here and it starts to consolidate, I wouldn't be surprised that at one point, perhaps when the CPI numbers come out on Wednesday, that price starts reaching all the way up here. That's why I have my eyes here as well. This was part of my weekend analysis. So just to show one more thing, if we look at the Canadian dollar, and again, I promise, Michael, if you're listening, not teaching, just how I thought about a stronger CAD, and I'm not even going to say anything. Just look at the prices. What's happening as new months are coming in? That's it. So, not saying nothing else than that. And I want to see a stronger CAD, but we could be in a phase of consolidation. So, we'll see what happens. I don't think I'll be taking a trade tomorrow, Tuesday. I don't really expect anything until Wednesday. So this is what I'm seeing. I wouldn't be surprised if my range expansion starts from this or this or this, anywhere here. But, you know, I always take it one step at a time, and currently I'm working on the sell model from this low to this high. So accumulation, reaccumulation, smart money reversal, low risk sell, accumulation. We might get another stage of accumulation here and then fall. And then, you know, once it takes out the low at 2470, we'll see what it does. Is it going to come back up here, take out this trend line, or is it going to start to fall? We'll see, and we'll play the market accordingly. Until then, cheers. So I was just about to check out when I was about to edit the video and put it up on YouTube, and literally just now it decided, as I was putting the video up, that it's going to run. And you know, I obviously said it's suspect. I said I took out 70% of my profit, then it took out my stop loss. Would not see this coming. Again, it's only 10:55 p.m. We are still outside of a kill zone, and prices moving across the board. Starting with dollar, I was trying to figure out what just happened, because it's not likely that prices generally move this high at this time of day. And it's moving across the board. Pound just fell. I'm guessing all the other pairs across the board are also falling. Just to see the other screen here. Yep. Price is falling across the board. Dollar is just rallying. Went into the site here to figure out what's going on. US dollar gaining across the board. Oh, cool. Just another new COVID case. And then I think the manual intervention we're seeing right now on the US dollar is this Bank of Japan statement. Let me see. Yeah. Outlook report. Policy rate. So not, again, the timing is a little bit weird. I don't know what's going on with that. But again, I don't trade the yen, but it looks like that provided a reason for prices to rally, or sorry, US dollar to rally. And that's why. So just going to leave this right now. I'm not going to try to take a trade. Just wanted to make sure that I put this in because my YouTube video was still not yet published, so thought it was a good way to keep the trade honest. And obviously, to keep the trade honest, I have been stopped out. Okay, and that's the end of that. Check in on Wednesday and see if I can get in on something juicy. Cheers.